If you don't call your leads within the first hour, your chances of booking an appointment drop by 90%. MIT did a study that was made famous by the Harvard Business Review that examined 3 years of data across 6 different companies that generate and respond to web leads. They did this for 15,000 leads and over 100,000 call attempts. If you're still calling your leads hours or, God forbid, days after they come in, I'm here to show you not only how much money you're losing, but how much you stand to gain. If you want to grow your business this year, this one change alone could double your revenue. And just to give you a little bit of context, last year I took 3 home service businesses past $1 million in revenue in less than a year each, without ever being in the field. And I say that not to brag, but so that you know that this works. I've done it for multiple companies and multiple industries, so it'll work for you too. Here's a useful mental picture you can use to hammer home the point for yourself or anyone else who has a hand in responding to leads. Every time the phone rings or a lead comes in, I want you to imagine a $100 bill coming out of your pocket and going onto the poker table as the ante. And every time you don't respond within 10 minutes, you're folding and your money goes into someone else's chip stack. But every time you answer within 10 minutes, you get to play the hand and you get a shot at winning $5,000 or whatever your average ticket is. It doesn't take too many $100 bills leaving your pocket for you to realize how important this is to contact your leads quickly. If this analogy is painful enough that you want to take immediate action and you want my help putting a plan together to get your booking rate to where it should be, I do offer free one-on-one sessions with qualified home service business owners. If that's you, click on the link in the description. Let's chat. To add insult to injury with these missed opportunities, the MIT study also found that the number of attempts had a huge impact on the chances of booking an appointment. If an appointment setter called 6 times or more, they had a 90% chance of connecting with the lead. But guess how many attempts most reps made? Here you go. You see 90% if they made 6, but this is what they actually did. Most did 1 or 2, and very few made it to the 6. You can see, about 5% actually made it to the 6th attempt. Yet if they did, they had a 90% chance of contacting. Putting aside the fact that 30% of the leads were never contacted at all, 30%. Most reps only called once if they called at all. How insane is that? In many home service categories, these leads can cost $100, $200, $300 or more. Our plumbing business is paying Google $83 per click. With a 33% conversion rate, which is very good, mind you, that's over $250 per lead. So think of how much money is being flushed down the toilet by not calling these leads quickly. You're paying $250 to get the lead and then not calling them. I wish I could say they had some underperforming companies in their data set, but no, this is not uncommon. This is the norm. Thousands of dollars a month straight into the toilet. As you can see, get a little worked up about these numbers. But that's because I come from the other side, generating leads for these companies who in turn don't even call the lead. Or when the leads come in, they say that they're bad, when they take days to reach out and only do so once. Luckily, this waste fest is not all bad news. It's actually a massive opportunity for business owners who are ready and willing to do the basics. All those numbers point to thousands, or in our case, millions of dollars of revenue if you can just call your leads and follow up a few times. There are usually only 1 of 2 reasons why leads don't get contacted within 10 minutes. A, you as the business owner are the one calling the leads and are busy with other things. Or B, the expectation has not been set for the appointment setter and they have no urgency. Both of these things are pretty fixable. If you're the appointment setter, that should be one of the first things that you delegate. You don't need to hire a full-time person out of the gate though. Start with your admin person and show them this video to impart to them how important it is that they answer the phone or get back to the lead within 10 minutes. If you don't have an admin person, that should be your first hire. I'm not going to get into the $10 an hour, $100 an hour, $1,000 an hour talk in this video. That's for another day. But just know, not having that person is costing you way more than what you're going to pay them. Once you have the appointment setter in place, it's time to give them a script. This is going to standardize the call process and make sure that every lead has the best chance of getting booked, because it's done the same exact way every time. And it's the best way that you've come up with. This is the script that we came up with for our landscaping company that goes through the whole process. Calling them back, asking if it's okay to make a few questions, and then going into some specific questions about the project, as well as their motivation of why they want to get it done, getting an expectation for cost and budget, and then figuring out what's important to them. We like to put this 1C in as a red herring or a ringer, because if they pick that option, then we're probably not a good fit. You probably don't want this customer unless that's your business model, is to just go cheap as possible. But if they pick any one of these 2, you want to note that down in the notes and give it to the estimator so that they know that's what they want to sell against. Last one is timeline expectation. And then these are disqualifiers. For us, this was, if there was a job under 1,000, not something we do, or if they're rude or only care about lowest price. We even have a polite way to tell them that we're not a fit and to recommend them to someone else. If they are a good fit, then that's where we'd book them with the estimator and be on our way. The script does not need to be word for word. I find that it's best to stick to bullet points for the main items you want to hit. Don't forget to include those qualifying questions to make sure they're the right leads and you're not wasting your time going to appointments that are not going to close. Another benefit of having an appointment setter in place that isn't you is that it elevates whoever goes out to the appointment, whether that's you or an estimator. You're elevated. You're seen as a professional. You're someone who is busy and a professional and doesn't have time to answer the phones, but they're going to come in and give an accurate assessment of what's going on. You can also instruct your appointment setters to edify the estimator, talk about the years of experience they have or how great they are at their job, so that when they show up to the house, the customer or the prospect is already having a high opinion of this person and sees them as an authority figure. And then once your appointment setter is following the script and calling the leads quickly, the next step is to start tracking their performance. You can create a system to measure how many times they're reaching out and how quickly, but it becomes a little bit technical and challenging. I found that measuring their booking rate is much easier, and really that's what you care about most in the end. If they're not calling fast enough or following up enough times, it's going to show in the booking rate. To calculate their booking rate, it's just the number of appointments that they make divided by the total number of leads that come in. The exact percentage varies by industry and how you generate your leads. Industries where your service is a nice to have rather than a need to have are going to have lower booking rates. By the same token, if you get most of your leads from Angie's List or other aggregators, those are going to be much lower than, say, something like organic SEO or referral or LSA. A good rule of thumb to shoot for is 50%. So if you have 10 leads come in a day, you want to book 5 of them. We've been as low as 40% for one business and as high as 75% for another. Figure out what your target number is and hold your appointment setter accountable. And there you have it. That's the fastest way I've found to double revenue in a business. I wish it were sexier, but it's always the basics that end up being the most impactful. If you want to copy and use any of the stuff that we went over in this video, I put it all in a Google Drive folder that you can access. Just click the link in the description and tell me where I should send it, and we'll get you hooked up. Also, like I mentioned earlier, I do offer free one-on-one whiteboarding sessions for qualifying home service business owners. If you want to hop on a call together and make a plan for how you can implement these practices into your business, the link is also in the description below. Talk to you next time.